So for your photo cube, you're going to need 10 pictures, 8 that are 3x3, 2 that are 3x6, a ruler, some scissors, some adhesive paper, and maybe an X-Acto knife. So first things first is we're going to cut off a little bit of the edge around our pictures. That's just going to help us to place them on that adhesive paper. The adhesive paper is exactly 8.5 by 11, and so is your printer paper. Cutting off a little bit, it's going to just make it easier to place them and not worry about them being exactly correct. So we're just going to place those pictures, picture side up, on that adhesive paper. And do the same thing with the second piece. You should only need 2 pieces. All 10 pictures should fit on 2 pieces of regular printer paper. So you're going to pull off that blue gritty colored piece to reveal the adhesive. Just press down the picture so there's no bubbles. And then you're going to cut around the pictures, leaving about a 1/16 of an inch around the picture itself. We want a little bit of a border just to give us some leeway in case our picture is not quite the right size. And you're just going to cut around all of the pictures that same way, leaving a little bit of a border. Okay, now that we've got our pictures cut out, we've drawn some grids so that each picture has a little bit of a different grid. I've enclosed the grid that you're going to need for each picture. And now we have cut them according to the line grid we just made. So first things first, you're going to get 4 of the blocks and make them into a square. And you'll see that picture 1 has that same 4x4 square grid. So you're going to place 1 piece of the picture on each one of the blocks, placing them together so that you see the picture. Now it's really important that the bits of the picture that connect in the middle or that touch in the middle are exactly correct. If there is any overhang, make sure the overhang is along the outside. Place that aside. Now we've got our second set of 2x2 bricks. So four blocks. And that's where picture 2 is going to go. Now picture 2 is 2 long pieces. So you're just going to place those pieces along 2 bricks. Now I made a bit of a spacer. You don't need the spacer, don't worry about it. We just want to make sure that our pieces of picture are placed on our blocks correctly so that the edges, any overhanging edges are along the outside and the edges in the middle meet correctly so that we have a fully formed picture. Once we've got those 2 pieces on our 4 blocks, we're going to place those aside. It did take me a couple of tries to get the picture pieces placed correctly. It's pretty easy though to peel up that paper, thankfully. So we were able to make a couple different passes at it. Now that that's together, you're going to take the first set of 4 you placed aside and place that so picture 1 is face down on the table and picture 2 is on top of those 4 bricks looking at you. Now this part's a little tricky. You're going to take the 4 pieces on each side and fold them together so that picture 2 is folded in the middle. Now picture 3 is cut into 6 pieces. You've got 2 longer pieces and then 4 smaller square pieces. So the longer pieces are going to be on the outsides, the square pieces will be in the middle. And I did not do a great job of cutting this picture. I definitely cut a couple pieces a little bit smaller than I should have. Just go with it. It's not that big of a deal, as long as they look relatively okay. So this is picture 3, one of our 3x6 pieces, or one of our 3x6 pictures. Again, I'm just making sure that the middle pieces are going to meet correctly in the middle. And there was some overhang, so I just cut it off with my X-Acto knife. All right, so now on to picture 4. And to get to picture 4, we just turned those pieces on themselves. So we've got a blank 6 blocks looking at us. And we're going to place those pieces of picture down. And this is our other 3x6 piece, and it's only cut into 4 pieces though. So making sure that the middle pieces, or the middle bits, meet in the middle correctly, and we're placing our pieces of picture down. Okay, so our next picture, we're just going to fold that picture in the middle again. So we're seeing 4 pieces, so 4 blocks, and our next picture is cut into 2 pieces. So we're just going to place those pieces on those 4 blocks. And again, I had a bit of an overhang on the edges, so I just took my X-Acto knife and trimmed off the bit I didn't need. It's important that we trim off those extra little bits because otherwise they just get hung up in the blocks and make for a big mess. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, that's fine. You can use scissors. You can just, use your fingers to pull off what's overhanging. So this is the easiest flip. We just flip it to the side. And now we'll put on our next picture. It's important that you're using printer paper and not photo paper. You don't want actual pictures placed on these blocks because that picture paper is a little bit too thick, and so it hangs up on the blocks. Printer paper works just like perfectly, honestly. It's got enough strength that it won't fall apart, but enough give that you can easily flip your blocks. And then this is another easy flip. You're just going to rotate the whole thing to the left once we've trimmed off those little bits. Right, so we've rotated to the left, and now we've got another picture that's cut into 4s. And it's really important that you cut your pictures according to this grid. Otherwise, your blocks won't turn. And that you're doing it in this order. I know it seems kind of silly, but the grid and the order does make a difference. And then we flipped everything to the left again, so we've got another set of 4 clean blocks. We're going to place down our next picture. This is a slightly different turn, so we're going to take that picture and we're going to flip it towards us. So that we're looking at the top now, basically, of the blocks. I wish my camera angle was a little bit better. I didn't realize I was this low on the angle. But you can pretty much see what I'm doing anyways. Just placing the picture on the block. And we'll trim off our extra bits and onto the very last piece, or very last side, and 3-piece picture. And then once I get this picture placed correctly, I'm just going to check out my edges, see if I've got anything overhanging. And if I do, I'm just going to trim off that little bit so that it's not hanging up my block. So we'll just do a little trimming. And there you have it, a fully functional photo block. You can flip it and turn it and choose which picture you think you like the best. There you go.